You just start with this. Oh my god. Yeah, this character. He looks like Finral, but he does look like Finral.
せっかくプロポーションはなかなか美しいのだ。私を手本にもっと精進しないか。大丈夫かこのチーム。おや、ミモザじゃないか。私の美しさを見に
The
来た。
amount of embarrassment.
どうも、はじめましてっす。
He's probably gonna ignore him.
貴様がアスタとい
Yeah.
う芸人か。
Thought about so.
気安く語りかけるな、お仏が。
The fuck, man? What little respect I had. You dare insult my man's muscles? That is such a weak argument. Who is this guy? Buddy, did you not see the match before this? Yeah, I was gonna say the same. I want a match up with you. Such vulgar words on the lips of a lady like you. We are really spending quite the time on this guy. I mean, just because he's nobility, so he has upper hand, but I doubt he's that talented. Exactly. Okay, this is not that invested of a not that best of a match. Magna, classic. Direct offense volley of fireballs. You might want to have some teamwork here. Pursuing jackals. Oh, whoa. Okay, let's see what you can do. Oh my god, he's gonna go into an entire tirade of monologuing. Okay, look at that. Some actual sound advice. Close attack. This is quite the random matchup. Everyone's just fighting on their own. Also, it's interesting that these team ups happened right before the match, so they have no time to, regroup and figure out how they complement each other. Like in the moment, you have to figure out what are my teammates' capabilities and how can I sync with them well, which will often be the case, right? On the actual battlefield, you don't know who you'll be shoulder to shoulder with. Okay, this guy is wise, despite his annoying attitude. That is, yeah, yeah. No need to make a huge target. Yeah, I mean that makes sense, right? You both are mud ground related powers. You clearly have the advantage. Okay, this guy. Oh, illusion magic. Which kind of fits him, right? He wants to see his own face multiply himself. Just to admire himself from different angles. Probably. Okay. This guy's not all talk. Still very annoying. He reminds me of Shayapov. Shayapov, yeah. Over dramatic, but clearly smart. It'll be interesting to see him paired up against Zerx.
この世界で罪それは
I mean, he is kind of like the vice captain, right?
美しくないことそして美しさに気づかないことなんだかんだ乗せられてるムカつくけど気持ちいい早いそれ想像
Mimosa knows this, that's why it annoys her even more.
私たちの戦いはさぞ美しかったろう俺はなんであんなこと
Post.
先ほどの魔法まずは花びらで複数の分身を生み出し敵を混乱させ魔力の桜吹雪で戦場を覆い敵の視界を奪うとともに膨大な魔力
Yeah,
自分
but despite that,
サンゴのクジャク時期だ
he still has battle experience and is quick to think on his feet to advise even people whose powers he's seen the first time. So yeah, he is smart.
すげえ魔法だ貴様のような魔法
Okay, I hate him again.
の入った器
Kick his ass.
魔法で粉々に砕いてくれるどうかなよくわからんけどシスターが俺たちのために
What are you even thinking about using that metaphor?
愛の力さこれからもずっと永遠に使うカイルガストンの
Again,
俺の炎魔法を中心に
only one team so far has been of interest.
美しさなどどうでも
Man, you do not have the features to call
俺の炎で
beauty.
ポカンと燃やしてやる力抜群の空間魔法使わない手はないだろう俺だって
Alright, Finral taking charge.
みんなと戦ってきたわけじゃない
Yeah, he has a very good ability to complement anyone. Very versatile. It's awesome to see Finral grow throughout the show.
防御の雑魚が狙い目だ
Yeah, that will be a downfall.
でもないぞ
That is so OP in a limited area like this, where you already know the landscape, because he's seen the entire map right from the view of a spectator. So he can teleport anywhere on this map. That is insanely powerful. And he can do that very fast. And it kind of gives him an advantage to be a spectator. Also, there's one more interesting point that I was thinking of. Although I don't think the Wizard King would allow. But people can set up their traps ahead of the match, right? Because they're all in the vicinity of the battlefield. Even before the match starts. Yeah, just teleport right behind the crystal, just like that. I know, right? I'm so happy for Finral. He gets to shine in front of everyone. Easy. Well done. All right. Yeah, I mean, how many other people do you have like that? Exactly. Ah, Finral's brother. Yeah, I'm getting invested now in the matches because they're not stretching it too much, which means the upcoming matches will be really hyped. Oh my god. As vice captain, you would have a way to work your teammates, right? Instead of being alone, so he has to play along with them, use their capabilities somehow. Yeah, like this. What the? I forget his magic. Or have we not seen it yet? What did he do just now? Shave the space away. It's similar to Finral in the way that it's teleporting magic, but instead of teleporting the person, he's manipulating the space instead. Spatial magic, yeah.
体持って
Oh,
いか
this is the match I want to see.
そうなると父さんや母さんは
Even more than
あの人と
Asta and Yuno.
そうだが
Finral is one of my
そう
favorite
なら
characters.
ないように
He's really changed quite a lot.
兄さんのくせに生意気だね
Ah, man. Okay. Ended on a high note. All right, this episode had 3 matches, and the 3 characters I want to focus on. I can't believe one of them is Kirsch. Kirsch, Finral, of course, and Finral's brother Langris. These 3 have very interesting powers, other than Zerx from last episode, and who else was there? Yeah, Zerx, I would say. Okay, let's talk about this guy and how we can beat him. What's his name? I forgot. Kirsch. So his power, I don't quite understand. Like he can make clones of himself, but what else can he do with his illusion magic? From what I got, he created this whole space of flower petals, kind of disrupting the flow of mana in the air, so it's difficult to track or read your opponent's movements, which kind of left the other team stranded as to what to do, where to attack. I'm guessing that's what it is, and that it also acts as guiding his teammates towards the crystal by reading the flow of the mana. So it gives your teammates information as to what to do with your environment while confusing the other team. That is my understanding, which is interesting. Unfortunately for him, Asta can cut through magic. Now I don't know if he can cut through that kind of magic and annihilate it. And I don't know how Zerx. Still feel like Zerx is very much holding back. We haven't really seen much of him in the first. So I'm not in the first match. So I'm not that concerned with Kish and Asta's team matchup. But let's talk about. Yeah, we also had Magna and we had 4 matches. Oh my god, I didn't even. So no, 3 matches. I'm sorry. Yeah, 3 matches. I forgot Magna was. These fights went on so quickly that I forgot who the team ups were. But yeah, let's talk about Finral and how he's going to go up against Langris. They both have spatial magic. It's so interesting how. So I like the show. It's going quickly through all the matchups with one team where you have 1 or 2 characters that you're really, behind, and the other team you have a bunch of nobodies. So you get to see all the magical abilities of the characters that have been introduced so far, but you may not have seen them in combat properly. And when you do have the semi-finals, quarterfinals, or whatever, now you know everyone's powers and how they play as a team. So now you're going to be more invested in the second, third rounds going forward. Now that you've seen everyone's abilities, so I like that the show is going through all these first round of matchups quickly. So now we know that Langris has this special ability magic, or Kirsch is very good at as a strategist, stuff like that. So now I can geek about how Finral would go against Langris, because Finral's power, like I said, having a battlefield, and he said that earlier, right? Whatever I can see or wherever I have been, I think that's what his limitation is. I can teleport to that location, whatever I can see clearly in front of me. So him having seen the battlefield from a spectator's point of view, far off standing, I'm sure he made all his calculations about where all the locations that he can teleport his teammates to, because the okay, so this is something that I feel the Wizard King should have thought of before, like having different what do you say, battlegrounds for different matches. I really hope they do change the location for the second round of matches, because as spectators you can, before your round comes up, you can really strategize about the landscape and where you would attack, because the location of the 2 teams always starts from the same area, right? I'm assuming that to be the case, because they haven't really made a point of showing that their starting points are different. So someone like Finral can take all their sweet time and figure out the lay of the land, and not have to think too much about where I'm going to teleport my teammates. So that is the advantage of later teams. But I guess at the same time, comes for both teams because both teams have equal amount of time to strategize, but some people's abilities will take more advantage of that. And I don't know how many of them can set up traps before the official start of the match. I think the Wizard King would uh, make a point of not like make a point of preventing that, but at the same time anything goes, because when you're fighting the enemies, like the Eye of the Midnight Sun, you're going to approach on their turf, and they will have traps, and it will be to their advantage the location. So these kinds of uh, competitions doesn't really test unfamiliar territory, which I feel would be a huge factor. Like if you put people blindfolded into an area, and then you know remove the straps and then have them fight immediately with unfamiliar territory, I think that would be a better way to uh, see everyone's strengths, because Finral right here is very powerful, but in an unknown location I don't know how useful he might be. Like he would have to take a lot of time to scan the whole area, or for someone who's very good at laying traps, they will not get that kind of time. So I don't know, that seems to be a limitation for these matchups, and I really hope the further rounds have it in a different area altogether. But yeah, let's talk about Langris's ability of just erasing space altogether. Now what will happen if Finral creates a portal and Langris just erases that space altogether? Like, does that even work? Because it's spatial magic versus a different kind of spatial magic, where Langris is removing the space in front of him. If you have seen JoJo's Part 4, you know that one character who can erase space in front of him. But Finral's ability, I feel, is more powerful in a concentrated way, but Langris is has more versatility. Like it really, I feel like the potential of Finral's magic is a lot more, because he can use combinations, he can use very smart sequences of creating portals. It's like a chess game, right? Whereas Langris is more about, I don't know if he has other variations of that ability, but once you know, okay, so he can eliminate space around him, I don't know what else he can do with that. Because even if you know Finral's abilities, it doesn't really help you that much. It might even create more panic. Like, where is he going to attack from? Right? Um, and I like that Langris made a show of using his power in such a brute, direct manner, in a crude manner, by telling Sikki, yeah, just charge straight ahead and I'll take care of the rest. No strategy, nothing. Just brute power and just destroy the crystal in one swoop. Just to make Finral feel, he's nothing compared to me. That was definitely on purpose. And to also chaperone the abilities of the noble powerhouses, which I think we have seen with Kirsch also. Like he has that, so maybe that will be a recurring theme for these matchups, where one of the teams has a renowned noble house going against a commoner, most of them being from Black Bulls. Maybe that will also be a revelation, that no, just because you have noble blood and a big vessel for mana, what Kish said, that still is not going to help you that much. And teamwork and using your abilities to the best is what wins matches. I hope that is one of the outcomes. And yeah, Langris versus Finral is something that I'm looking forward to, definitely. I really don't see Finral losing for now, because his ability is very good. Like if he can create multiple portals at the same time for multiple people, and it's all depending on how much muscle memory he has, how much practice he has. He really should be put against the ropes in practice matches with creating as many portals and playing that 5D chess 5 steps ahead. Okay, where I'm going to create the sequence of portals. It's a very fun ability to have. And Finral's character arc is also very impressive. Kind of is a visual indicator with his hairstyle being changed, and initially it was played for laughs, but yeah, I can see that the writer is definitely putting a lot of emphasis on his character, especially with Langris in the play. So I'm really hyped for that moment, even more than Noel versus the Silva House. But yeah, pretty good episode. I'm starting to get more into it because they're not unnecessarily dragging the match, and I get the feeling that the second round of these matchups will be a lot more interesting. So let's jump into the next episode and see what happens. Oh yeah, I didn't even talk about how Langris can basically raise body parts altogether, right? He can basically raise any kind of space. That is terrifying. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna see the opening now. I think we have passed all the spoilers. I hope. So I'm not going to watch the opening. I didn't pay much attention to it, but there were some spoilers there. Good thing I didn't focus too much. Big family clashes. Silva and Ward. Round 5. Hello, Nero. Huh? Who? Who? I mean, it was the episode title also. The fuck? Even Nero. What the fuck? More like an Xmas tree. Oh. Wait, is he allowed? Is he allowed to participate? That's what I was asking. I mean, you were kind of at the bottom, so are you really worthy of a captain? This guy is so encouraging for everyone. Is his personal butler? Man, what's wrong with your eyes? Oh my god, I love this guy. Some butler characters in anime are just really fun. I'm now loyal and faithful to you as well. Okay, we are focusing on Rill. Yeah, how does he exactly do combat? It's matchups like these, right, where you have one character in one of the teams that you want to see how they do, just so you can quickly be done with the match and actually introduce them in a more interesting setup. But this episode seems to really focus on just him from the title. And he's a captain, so let's see. He can be very scary if it is the kind of magic I'm assuming it is. He's literally going to paint reality, right? Oh my god, I feel like an idiot. Oh my god, for a captain to be like this, his team members would be so embarrassed. But there's more to this, right? He's pretending. A lot of similar magic: flame, wind, ice, plants.
このキャンバスはやっぱりいいな。創作意欲が湧いてくるよ、ジーヤ。
Okay, okay.
またよ。今日だけで何度目かしら。
Backstory.
ボアモルティへの坊ちゃま。しかもとんでもない魔力を持っているものだから誰にも止められなくて、ご主人様も困り果てているそうよ。
He's just going through his rebellious teenage years.
世界を超えた怪物だわ。
The hell?
僕はこんな絵を描きたいんじゃない。もっともっとあなたなんて産まなきゃよかったのよ。
The hell are with these parents?
僕の絵のことなんかわかんないくせに。
There's a pattern to these backstories. They all happen in some nobility house with some family issue. Man, you're gonna kill him.
もう誰も僕を理解してくれない。
Oh. Okay. I didn't see that coming. Shut your whining, you goddamn brat. You nearly fucking killed me. Oh my god.
から傷つくのが怖いのです。得体の知れないものが怖いのです。そんなものには近づきたくないのです。ないでしょう。とはいえ、リルボッチャマの最後は
What are you getting at?
キャンバスには収まりません。
I sort of understand what he's getting at. The battlefield. An endless canvas.
魔法騎士だ。広がるキャンバスに絵を描くことができる。きっと最高の一枚が描けるでしょう。
ごめんなさいマルタ。大丈夫。
Yeah, you should probably get him
これ式。
something but a scratch.
地図みたいなものです。
Nothing but a flesh wound. I would destroy the entire house. I wish these backstories were a lot longer and better
お別れを言わないでよろしかったのです。
weaved into the story. They always feel like separate stories thrust in between the middle of action scenes. I kind of see what his Butler's point was. Oh. Huh. MVP Butler understood him better than anyone.
キャンバスは最高だよ。今はジーヤに一番最初に
Okay, let's see exactly what it is.
炎と水の絨毯ペッカー。
すべての魔法属性を再現できる。
Recreate every magical attribute? Isn't that a bit too powerful?
強いほど創作意欲が湧く。ボッチャマの想像力は無限大。さすがです、ボッチャマ。
His own personal cheerleader. Hype man.
いえ、さすがです、リルダッチョ。
I have a few issues with the visualization of his magic. I feel like they could have done a bit better. I didn't quite get the artistic appeal of that canvas thing they were talking about with the way they showed his magic.
アイチームの勝利。あ、順当じゃ。
Checking.
もっと荒々しく書いてもよかったな。
It's kind of frozen. Okay, okay. So that's what he was trying to get at.
集中してくんない。しっかりしてないがゆえ、周りのみん
This is the kind of everyone should have a butler like this guy.
続いて1回戦第6試合を始める。
Okay,
の出番だ。
okay.
何話して。
Oh, one more thing I didn't even think about. How do they reset the battlefield after every match?
終わったの？
Against all the destruction and residue magic.
負けたり
They didn't even explain that. Like, does the Wizard King do something?
やっと僕たちの番だ。
Because they're playing on the same battlefield again and again.
ラックボルティア。これはロイヤルナイツを選定するための試合だぞ。もっと真面目に挑ま
This should be good. We have both teams with people we know.
まあ心配してもし
Is she trying to match their
チー
energy?
ムメイトよ
Blue
よろしく
Rose?
ね全員最高のパフォーマンスをかましましょう
この対戦の要注意人物はダンディ
Okay,
一番の
again a random.
風魔同士
I hope this match gets concluded. Oh, no, it's gonna go into the next episode.
試合開始
Okay. I think I'm going to do a triple drop and watch one more episode because I really want to get through the first round of matches and get to the really interesting parts of this arc because I want to see those matchups very much. Okay, so this was a focus on. Oh my god, I forget his name. I'm so bad with names. Rill, right, and his butler. I should know his name also. Walter and Rill. Okay, I have given Black Clover some leniency throughout the show, but I will also. I mean, I do praise the show a lot in terms of a lot of things that I enjoy, but there are some critiques that I see now a repeating pattern with the way they weave the backstory. They all have a similar pattern where they don't fit in quite nicely with the pacing of the show. It's right at the exact moment when you need to learn about the character, at the very last moment. Like, you've seen that character throughout the show, but I can understand it's very difficult to juggle so many characters with such a huge cast in a show like this, but I mean, you have to think that through as you're writing the story. But that could be the issue with a weekly shonen manga where you have to write the story week to week and you can't really get that time to have those narrative threads. And with so many characters, I can understand you'll have to fall back on something like this, like a shoved in backstory to create some kind of depth for your characters. But why is it that most of these backstories always happen in a huge mansion with a family setting and the character has issues in the scope of the family setting and the mansion, never in a different area, in a different situation? I like to see more. I want to see more variety. Vanessa's one was creative, definitely, but again, it was a family setting in a family house, sort of. Like, I've seen these one too many times. I want to see more interesting scenarios with backstories. Like, Noelle's is a good example, I think, but she's also one of the main characters, so I get it. It's part and parcel of the game. You can't have interesting backstories and character arcs for every freaking character. Like, I don't need to know so much about Rill unless he is going to be really important in the later episodes. Like, I don't need a backstory for every character. You can have a scene with him and I can kind of connect, okay, that's where he's coming from. He wants to create a canvas. He wants to create the perfect painting through which people will understand him finally, but he's all that's what I'm understanding. He's always frustrated that no, this is not good enough, people will not understand what I'm trying to convey on this canvas. But his butler comes in and basically shows him, right? He's walking to him with Rill showing his back to the butler and not even having an eye contact, and he's just charging spells at him, not even turning back and seeing whether he's still alive. That kind of proves Walter's message, right? Like, look at me, at least look at me and try to connect with me, try to understand me. If you want others to understand you, you have to understand them first, and maybe that will help you in making your masterpiece. And it is true in on the battlefield because you have to understand your opponents, right? You have to empathize with them, you have to understand how they work, and that is what's going to help you win. And that same thing will apply. Like, they are the subjects of your painting, right? The canvas is the battleground. So you have to really understand everything that you're observing, and that's how you create your masterpiece. Which is why I was kind of disappointed with the execution. That okay, you have this entire backstory, you have this whole conversation with Walter and Rill, where I'm kind of understanding where he's coming from and where Rill's abilities can shine, right? He kind of solves two things in two things at once. He gives Rill the battlefield as his canvas, where his abilities can shine, and he also helps the mother with, okay, I got you. The house is gonna get destroyed. Let me shove him outside, send him somewhere else. Win-win, both sides. I know he didn't want. He's not. It's not that. It's not. That's not his intention. But that was kind of funny at the back of my mind. I liked this conversation. I get what the show is trying to do with this, but I needed to see it in execution when they cut back to the present time. Okay, so what are you going to do? Right, we got this whole backstory, we got this whole build up, but it just felt like similar to too many abilities that I've seen earlier with Zerks, with what's his name? Gosh's reflection magic, and then one or two more abilities where it's kind of like you're mirroring or you're reflecting or you're absorbing and redirecting the same kind of magic. His is also very similar, where he pits them against the elemental magic that they're most weak against. I would be very surprised to see his matchup with Asta and more incompatible elements, like more incompatible magic, like Finral's portal magic. Like, how is he going to? What is he going to cook up? I needed to see more of his thought process. Like, how is he coming up with these counter attacks? How is he studying the land? How is he trying to empathize with his enemies? Like, how is he preparing to create this canvas? I wanted to see that thought process, and I didn't really get that, which is why I got disappointed with. Okay, so there was a lot of potential to how he uses his magic, how he prepares for his canvas, but just felt lacking in that department. But then again, you can't really build up every character. Like, I guess this was cool to see. Okay, so this is kind of like your canvas, but you didn't really utilize the spaces correctly. It kind of feels random. You have this ice and fire on both sides, a kind of fusion, and it's cemented on the ground, which creates its own canvas. But then you have these buildings also, and you didn't really try to understand understand your opponents, right? Even just a line like that. Okay, so this guy's using fire and this guy's using ice or whatever. So this is their abilities. So how do I counteract with them? Study their mana flow. Study how they are attacking. Understand them, and then counteract. Like something more, something like that. I wanted to see. Just a nitpick, but I really love the butler. He's very enthusiastic. You need a person like that in your life. So that was very fun to watch. But yeah, bit of a lackluster episode, I would say, with the kind of build up they were doing for Rill. Again, I don't know how much more we'll get, but I want to see more of that. That kind of a magical ability with painting the canvas. You can do a lot of cool things with that, which I did not get, sadly. But yeah, let's watch one more episode. It's been a long time since I've seen Black Clover. It's like 10 days or something. So yeah, let's watch one more episode and just club all three in one. Oh, it's this opening. Oh, I so badly want to see this. This is one of my favorite openings from Black Clover. The song, at least. I don't remember the visuals, but I'm pretty sure this will have spoilers. Okay, I just want to listen to this. Alright. I might watch one more episode after this. I'm kind of getting into this, into the whole tournament arc thing. Oh, we already started. He's gonna be pretty difficult to defeat. Luck. Luck is gonna enjoy this so much. Yeah, he's pretty powerful. His instinct is very good. Nice. Proper Asta fan. The third guy they were talking about. Wind magic. What is in this
来た
pose?
かロブビテス
Cool
ク
design.
リスタルは後方に残している
Where is your teammate?
だたちなかなかいいじゃないの。はあ翼魔法普通に飛んでる。エンゼルフラッピング。
Oh, wind magic on this side also. Really?
私の魔法に全く動じてなかった。まずいクレイジーボー
早い
He is lusting.
イ。もっとやろう。
Mini Hisoka. Oh my god. No competition.
クリスタル破壊ケーチ
The Black Bulls are just reigning over this entire competition.
次の相手はもっと楽しそう。もっといい絵が描けそう。
続いて1回戦
They're already weighing their next matchups.
ことはとうとう
Round 2 after this.
ユノとノエルのチームの出番だ。
Oh, right. This should be. This shouldn't take a long time unless there's someone on the other side.
一人は
I.
みんな頑張ろう力を合わせれば大丈夫
Oh my god.
このコントロール苦手な
Touche.
火山の時もマナスキンで精一杯だったみたいだしちゃんと戦えるのか
はあ私は
Don't you dare pull that card right now.
スタに影響でも受けたか
Oh my god. This dynamic is amazing.
あんたこそそういうバカストっぽいとこ
I didn't know I wanted this until now.
すぎだな都合しか
そんなことより作戦
Noel is one of the few Sundari characters I can tolerate.
触ってんじゃないわよ。
Are they fighting against them right now?
よくこの試験に参加したな。
Oh, they are.
偶然活躍したクロ
Oh shit, I thought this was going to be the second round.
自分のおかげだとか思ってんのか。
ソリド兄様。
魔力もコントロールできず。
Oh, shut the fuck up, man.
銀翼の大足に入れなかった
We ranked above you.
俺と戦うなんてな。
Come on, Noel, don't let it get to him.
出たなクズが。俺より先に飯を食うんじゃね
This is all him.
え。やめてくださいソリド兄様。返してください。お前が
The main guy doesn't seem to be that this petty. I think it's mostly this one guy. Like the captain. Oh my god. This is like you have the experience and the skills, but there's this psychological barrier. And defeating Solid right now is very important for that. She needs to be the one to defeat him.
何さっきからブツブツ言ってんの
Oh man, he has so much care, affection for everyone, but nobody
おい何を
gets
して
to
い
hear
る
it. He was also there with Langris, right? In the shadows when Yuno got awarded the best knight or something. A couple of episodes ago.
それでは1
This
回
is a
戦
double
試合サンドラソリ
2 on 2.
エビトリの王チーム対
これよユノノエ
This should be a good matchup.
ル防御の女はすごいってとこガツンと見せてやんなさい。
二人はサポート
私が攻めるわ。
They both have something to prove.
私
Well, not Yuno.
じゃあ私はサポートで
まさかこんなスピードで
Huh?
何よ
Oh,
尺な方法だが、前やった複合魔法簡易版でショートカットだ。速攻で終わらせて
they
や
have
る
experience
ぜ
working together.
かまいたちの味
You
方
gotta work together, you know.
この魔法コンバイナッション
Good callback to that one time where they created that
私に防御魔法を覚え
thing
るか
together, right? To get back to the city.
圧殺の
Good callback. Learning from experience.
水が吸われていく。
These guys have a lot of good chemistry together.
敵チームのクリスタルを破壊しに行くその間二人でどうにかこっちのクリスタルを守ってくれ
Nah, that's not the right way.
私に行かせて。お願い。
Yuno needs to learn to trust and work with others,
アスタと一緒に戦ってきた
not just believe in his own powers.
やれるだろ
This was a good check for him.
自分でクリスタルを守った方が
Good.
安全だし
私が行けば
Good. It's not about ego.
ソリド兄様は必ず追ってくる
Yeah, yeah. Predictable. Come on. I'm right here.
相手は俺だ。
おい聞いたかよ四つ葉の信者
Let's go. This is the jealousy part.
ダイヤモンドの発揮賞の一人を倒しちまったってよマジかよ入団1年目でとんでもねえな
He must be the third in command, right? After Langris.
その態度がそんだというのだ
Sand versus wind.
ここでは誰も私を救援には来れない。
Is it going to be Vangeance William? Mm-hmm.
大丈夫かいアレクトラ。その姿はまるで
Griffith.
幼き頃に見た絵画の神のようだった。
This motherfucker. I need to know about.
君をここに感じた。
He is, without a doubt, the most intriguing character in this entire show.
マルを捧げると誓った。
God, he's so heavily inspired by
最
Griffith.
強の段であり続けるよう邁進した。
For the sake of his
バ
approval.
ンジャンス様が選んだ
あ
貴族のエリート集団。
I see where he's coming from.
だがそんな中に
Uh-huh.
なぜあんな下民が
He kind of fills, if you know Berserk, he kind of fills the role of,
皆に分け隔てなく接していた。
what's her name? Casca.
あいつ
Wise Guts joining.
あいつには
Who's this guy?
あいつは今日5回も名を呼ばれた。
God.
私はまだ一度も
Oh my
話し
God.
かけられていないのに。
Acting like
なぜあいつなのだ。
jealous girlfriend. I wonder, other than Asta, who else could provoke Yuno into not being calm and collected? Because that's his greatest asset. He doesn't get pulled into emotions. What is that? Huh? Is it that guy's power?
金魔法走るキノコくん。君にもさっき奉仕をつけさせてもらった。
Oh my god, that is adorable and freaky.
果たしてどうかな安心したまえエンだ
N.
これは私の声を届けてくれる喋るキノコくんだ
何勝手に変なのくっつけてくれてんのよ
まあまあそんなことより
This guy's face.
試合前からソリノ君の発言を聞い
はあ
たけど、妹にあんなこと
Oh,
をなんて言う
look at this. Being so considerate.
生まれてくる弟や妹を守るために
Yes.
いるんだ
Yes.
それをあんな風に傷つけることばかりってやれノイル君兄貴をぶち
Yes.
のめしてやれ
The devil on your shoulder. True. If you humiliate and defeat him.
ぶちのめすってこの俺にそれを得て損ないのお前が勝てるわけねえだろうが
最初から強かったソリド兄様に弱い人の気持ちなんてわからないでしょうねもうあなたに認められなくても
Yeah, she has other people who have acknowledged her.
私はもっと
Oh my god, that is a line.
ソリド兄様の魔法昔は本当に怖い
Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
今ではとても薄い
That's a very interesting point to discuss later.
大酒シルバ家の
She's had validation from much greater people.
傘下の会じゃ
Hmm.
私を侮辱するか砂創生魔法
Oh man, I got chills.
呼吸中創兵
Calm. Cucumber. Oh my god. No chance. He created a vortex from inside. Interesting. Interesting.
俺が見るのは俺の夢だけだ。
Oh, that is a line from Berserk also. But pretty good. Oh, right. This spell. From the from the sea arc, right? Ocean arc.
当てていいのね
Do it.
やれるもんならやってみる
Destroy him.
こいつの魔法が俺に当たるわけねえんだ
The music.
できそうもないが
Oh god, I've been waiting for so long.
海流の方向
Kill him. Kill that petty snake. It's a worm against a dragon.
クリスタルをたった一撃で
クリスタル破壊 P チームの勝利
No more bullying. Oh my god. She went all out on purpose.
もう私は弱くない
Yeah. Okay. That's probably what's going on in her mind. Really cool outro there. Alright, let's talk about this episode. I completely forgot that this was a matchup that was happening in the first round itself. I thought this was going to be second seed. But yeah, the match I was looking most forward to in the first round, I guess. Noel versus Solid, and also surprisingly, versus this guy. I forgot his name. I'm so sorry. I forgot his name. Oh, he's gonna kill me probably for not acknowledging his efforts. Sandler, of course. Adam Sandler, the one with sand magic. But yeah, let's talk about and Solid Silva. There's not much to discuss because it's more about, okay, this has been building on since the beginning of Black Clover, right? And it will continue to build on. Noel's arc is not gonna stop right here. But yeah, this was basically the payoff. A series of payoffs throughout the show that we have seen Noel build up and become more confident and take on greater challenges, and this was a big milestone. And what really put this into context, where Noel is drawing her strength and confidence from versus her childhood, is this validation and recognition from people who she looks up to and respects, that yes, you are not a failure, you have the potential, you have the power, and you have proven yourself. And what really happens here, like some of the backstories that I really like is Vanessa, Finral, Noel, aside from Asta and right? They each have a very specific theme that has been built very well. I think Noel's might be the best one because you see her family dynamic, right? She's the youngest, I believe, because she was the cause of her mother's death, right? When she was born. So all her elder brothers have amazing powers. Where is the scene? And growing up with that family name and that those expectations set up, and then not being able to meet them, aside from being the cause of your mother's death, quote unquote, I wonder how much of it was this psychological warfare on her that led to her powers being stunted, and how much of it was an actual problem. Because as we see now, Noel, through practice and encouragement, she is able to surpass that limitation. So maybe if her brothers were more encouraging, more supportive, she would have been over this issue a lot sooner. But you see this petty attitude especially from Solid. I mean, guys like this will always, they're obviously insecure, highly insecure, so they will want to feel self-validation and want to make themselves feel bigger, better by undermining those who they see inferior to them, weaker than them. I mean, you're basically bullying your younger sister. It doesn't get more pathetic than that, right? Obviously Solid is a coward, he is weak, and that's what he displays. But what happens with this is your own development gets you kind of plateau, because you have been offered the silver plate, you're born in nobility, versus someone who has to struggle. The poster child of that is Asta, right? Asta versus someone like Solid, who has, or even Noel you can take, right? Because though she has been gifted the power of noble blood, she has had to work on her powers to get to that point where she has this confidence that a lot of nobility like Solid will not have. I have worked for this, like where I am right now, it's not been handed over to me. I have worked on it, so I have that resolve to fight for what I have built for myself, compared to someone like Solid, who is standing on brittle ground. And if challenged by someone greater than him or someone showing greater power than him that he's not expecting, he's just going to admit defeat. He's not going to struggle because he's never had to struggle, right? So that on the battlefield is very important, and I hope we have touched on this time and again with Black Clover that people who've had to work their way up, especially Asta, they do not give up, right? They have this undefeating attitude. They will go through everything. Not to say that nobility, all of them are the same, because some of them are exceptions. But more often than not, we see people like, I mean, I know is of noble blood, though it's not been confirmed. But might be a bad example. Someone like William. Again, I'm assuming there's not something mysterious going on about him, but even William is not of noble blood, right? And so is Yami, Asta, all these guys. They've had to struggle through. So that creates this confidence, which obviously Solid does not have. And when you plateau like that, you don't realize how quickly other people around you are growing in potential. And that is the case in point here, where he always sees Noelle as someone who's helpless because he's seen her through the childhood, right? So this was very cathartic to see this display of power, similar powers. They both had their magic wands and they cast their spells. His was pathetic compared to what Noelle has built up through her battle experience and through her struggles. And this was so good to see. Like a weak snake, worm kind of magic versus the scale of what Noelle presented in front. Like, I love scenes like this, where you see the culmination of all that has happened. God, that was so good to see. I'm so happy for Noelle. She didn't struggle that much. There was this initial hit to her when he was mocking her, and it is also interesting to see that outside the battlefield, you can play with words and kind of weave your poison into it, and Noelle couldn't do anything at that point, right? When Solid was mocking her. But on the battlefield, you can talk shit all you want, but you need to prove that, because I'm gonna come at you with full force, right? And yeah, that's where she proved him wrong. He can say all that he wants to, but when it comes to combat, when you have to prove it with your actions, you stand no chance. So yeah, that was, even though we saw it coming, it was still very satisfying. It will continue to be satisfying. Now that this huge, it's like Gon versus Hisoka in Heaven's Arena. If you have seen Hunter x Hunter, right? You want that payoff to happen for them for Gon, or for Noelle in this case, to go to the next step. Now that they've defeated this mental hurdle, she's not gonna be bullied by the Silver family anymore. She has proven herself in the Black Bulls team, with the Black Bulls coming ahead of the Silver Eagles, and on an individual level also, she has proven herself. Like, this cannot get any better. A one-on-one with the brother who ridiculed her the most in her childhood, right? And this line was so good. Like, I don't even care if you acknowledge me or not, because greater people have acknowledged me. That is so good. And multiple greater people have acknowledged her. Like, you are nothing. When I was a child, you guys were the world to me, right? Solid, or I forget the elder brother's name, who's the captain. They were the ceiling for Noelle. That is her entire world, right? So when that is your entire world, you can never break through that ceiling. You'll always be undermined. You'll always feel little. But when you're on the outside, when she has joined the Black Bulls. She has been through countless battles. She's seen herself grow and acknowledged by people even greater. That kind of opens up your perspective, your potential. I can do so much more, right? Solid at this point is nothing. So that was amazing. That was a very good line to sum up her journey from childhood, when she was bullied, to now where she is like a proud warrior, I would say, of the Black Bull squad. Magic Knight, soon to be a Royal Knight. Okay, so that was amazing. I really love that. Now let's talk about Yuno and Sandler. another dynamic I didn't see coming, but we got that hint. This was a good example of a foreshadowing when we see Langris and Sandler, in the shadows, resently acknowledging, not acknowledging, but resenting Yuno's time in the spotlight. And now Sandler has this opportunity to show, no, Yuno is not the right person. How dare he get the affection of one such as William? And I've seen characters like this who are saved by this figure who they seem as God, nearly. You know, he has saved me. I have to serve him. I have to show how much he means to me. So I will do anything to, devote my life, my grimoire to his service. I deserve. But at the same time, there's that ask from that godly person that acknowledge me, see how much I'm devoting myself to you, so you have to acknowledge me. That's where the selfish part comes in, and that's where he gets jealous of, like, why are you acknowledging this guy who came out of nowhere? I have been in your service for so long. And Claus does not have that same issue. Like, he had that with, like, you're nobody, you're not nobility, so even though you've joined the highest order, don't get an ego. But he realized that has, can back up his words, and William doesn't just acknowledge him out of nowhere. But that's not the case with Sandler. So this was a very good character conflict, a unique one. Stuff like this I like to see a lot, where it's this kind of a character play. It's very fun to write someone like him. So that was a lot of fun to see this idea of jealousy, which is different from what Solid is experiencing with Noel, where it's more of, I want my god figure to praise me. What is that meme? Senpai. Notice me, senpai. Some cool visuals here also. So obviously he's going to want to prove, but that's kind of his downfall, right? He is not acknowledging as a threat, and not really, what do you say, thinking straight. Just overwhelming magic. Also, this guy, pretty cool, small character on Noel's shoulder, trying to push her on. That was pretty cool. But yeah, where is attacking from inside someone's elemental magic? That is another interesting angle as to how you can defeat someone. And Wind being very versatile, and you can create a vortex out of anywhere. That is interesting. I wonder if Finral can use something similar, where you have. I don't think he can create a portal through a solid space, but maybe that could be an evolution for him. But something like sand is not solid, right? So you have those gaps inside. So yeah, that's an interesting angle to attack someone with. Pretty cool. But as cool as is, I want to see him conflicted. I want to see him struggle. I want to see his values being tested, his resolve being tested. And other than Asta, I don't know who else can do that. So like is the ultimate cool, calm, collected cucumber, but I want to see him struggle. I want to see what makes him tick. Then he'll get more interesting, because for now he's just like how Levi was in Attack on Titan, right? I'm not going to spoil it, but throughout season 1 he was this overpowered, cool ass character, but then you get to see more inside his layers. I want to see that same thing for but yeah, amazing episode. Definitely Noel being the highlight, Noel versus Solid being the highlight, and then also versus Sandler. This was episode 3, right? I think I'll watch one more episode, maybe. But oh yeah, this was the last episode of round 1, so probably a good idea to call it off for now and watch the next few episodes in the next batch. So yeah, see you guys next time. Enjoy the triple upload. Bye.